his meal. I never forgot that either. Most niggas would have to run the streets for years to learn a lesson that profound. It took me 2 seconds. Never get between somebody and their paper. Taking a man's livelihood away from him is akin to killing him.
You know, Disney, ESPN is taking this very serious, where we don't know if Shannon will be employed with ESPN after this.
Shannon says this is nothing but a shakedown attempt, calling it straight up blackmail. He also claims that—
Y'all, this just went nuclear. Dave Chappelle just dropped bombshell receipts claiming Shannon Sharpe's lawsuit is a total setup. And if he's right, we're about to witness one of the biggest takedowns in celebrity media history. Right now, Shannon's facing explosive allegations, a Jane Doe accusing him of manipulation, assault, and control. But here's where it flips. Dave says powerful people are pulling the strings to end Shannon's $100 million podcast empire before the ink even dries. Behind the scenes, the industry is buzzing, with Shannon blackmailing celebs using dirt he collected from Club Shay Shay interviews. If that's true, this isn't just a scandal, it's a guy it's a career killer, and the fallout, it's coming fast.
First of all, if you're saying this, Sharpe, you shouldn't be saying anything.
No, he shouldn't.
Busby and this young woman got audio, video, and text messages. If you know all of those things are out there, you should shut the F up and continue to allow your lawyer to do his job. And your lawyer said out of his own mouth that you was close to a $10 million settlement with that girl. That right there is all the more reason to shut the F up. I'm not here to speak to Shannon's guilt or innocence because I don't know, but I do know attempting to settle looks like an admission of guilt because I'm not settling.
Yeah, or you're just scared.
But buckle up, because this story is packed with betrayal, backlash, and the kind of celebrity war that's about to reshape Hollywood. This isn't just a lawsuit, it's a bomb dropped on Shannon Sharpe's world. It all started when a woman, going by Jane Doe, came forward with shocking claims. According to her, she and Shannon began dating when she was just 19, while Shannon was 54. And what began as a relationship quickly turned into something far darker.
If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke the out of you when I see you.
Jane Doe alleges Shannon manipulated and controlled her, refusing to accept the word no. She says he would record intimate encounters, sometimes without her knowledge, claiming it was just for personal use. But later she accuses him of sharing those videos with friends, and here's where the stakes skyrocket. Jane Doe's legal team claims Shannon offered her a massive $10 million hush money payout just to make the lawsuit disappear. Now, Shannon's lawyers are coming out swinging, calling this whole thing a classic shakedown. They say Jane Doe secretly recorded a consensual encounter, heavily edited the footage, and is now trying to flip the narrative into something non-consensual. They're painting this as an outright extortion attempt, warning the public not to fall for what they call blackmail by lawsuit. But Jane Doe's team isn't backing down. In fact, her lawyer, Tony Busby, dropped a statement that hit like a grenade saying, on one hand, Mr. Sharpe and his lawyers call the case meritless. On the other hand, they offered $10 million to settle. You can't have it both ways. The public reaction? Pure chaos. Fans are split down the middle. Some say Shannon's being targeted because of his fame and success, while others point to the lawsuit details and say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And all of this is happening just as Shannon was about to lock in a $100 million deal to take Club Shay Shay to the next level. So yeah, the timing isn't just suspicious, it's strategic. But hold on, because this is only the tip of the iceberg. What happened on Club Shay Shay and the celebrities Shannon platformed would spark the kind of backlash no one saw coming. Here's where things go from scandalous to explosive. At first, Club Shay Shay looked like a massive win for Shannon Sharpe. The show was pulling millions of views, scoring A-list guests, and making Shannon one of the most talked about media personalities out there. But then came the interview that cracked it all wide open. Cat Williams.
I came in this business saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side.
That interview, it didn't just go viral. It set the internet on fire, racking up over 80 million views and single-handedly defining the culture conversation heading into 2024. Cat didn't hold back. He took aim at everybody, from Cedric the Entertainer to Kevin Hart, calling out Black Hollywood in ways no one had dared before.
Nobody knows why liars lie. And that's why I had to come on the program. Cedric did the same thing. Cedric told you when you asked him, did you steal Cat Williams' joke?
Yeah.
He He said it don't line up. How it don't line up that I did it on TV in 2018? You came to see me at the Comedy Store do it in 2019 and then did it on the Kings of Comedy. Like, what doesn't line up? This is a televised joke that Mark Curry helped me punch up and get to the level that it was. The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had.
Cedric clapped back hard, accusing Kat of spreading lies and jealousy-fueled attacks, basically saying, "You can't reduce my career to one joke." Kevin Hart wasn't any quieter. He called Kat a clown, dragging Shannon by extension for even giving Kat the mic. And D.L. Hewley, he came in swinging too, accusing Shannon of being messy, fueling drama, and platforming lies.
Well, Club Shay Shay is getting messier and messier. It's almost like Wendy Williams didn't go anywhere. She just got a weight set. So Monique was on. Every time I see Monique these days, she's on doing some greasy-ass video with her and her daddy complaining about something or working out. I don't know nobody that work out that much and gain weight unless every crunch you do has got Captain in front of it. But apparently she goes on Club Shay Shay and tells the story about how she came on my radio show and I wasn't there at the time. And my co-host Jasmine Sanders played a game that we played all the time with everybody called Would You Rather. She apparently was so offended by that.
But here's the twist. It wasn't just the celebrities coming for Shannon. The fans, the very people who built Club Shay Shay's rise, started turning on him too. On social media, the narrative shifted fast. People started asking, why is Shannon always going after black celebrities? Why is he so loud when it comes to his own community, but quiet when white guests are on?
Thirdly, you call yourself coming at me, right? You want to be aggressive with me, right? Listen, you showed poise, respect, wherewithal, resolve, compassion, reverence for Skip Bayless. Why are you so aggressive anytime somebody black say something? The man said, put your glasses on, and you put your glasses back on. Don't play with me. Put your glasses back on, Shannon.
So now Shannon was trapped in the middle. On one side, celebrity friends turning into enemies. On the other, a fan base questioning his loyalty and his motives. If you thought the Cat Williams interview stirred things up, just wait, because the clapbacks that followed turned Club Shay Shay into ground zero for one of the ugliest celebrity firestorms in years. First up, Cedric the Entertainer. Cedric didn't just brush off Kat's accusations, he went straight to Instagram, clapping back with a sharp message. My career can't be reduced to one joke Kat claims is his. I've been in 40+ movies, I've built my own brand, and I've helped put others on, including Kat. The subtext? Cedric was basically saying, don't come for my legacy just because you're bitter. Then came Kevin Hart, and honestly, Kevin wasn't here to play nice. He straight up called Kat a clown, saying he belongs in the circus, not the comedy game. Fans went wild, half cheering Kevin for defending himself, half slamming him for punching down.
My frustration with Cat Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot.
Cat was in that position at one point.
You were the guy.
Yeah.
You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You fucked off promo shoots. You fucked off your promo fucking trips that they had set up for you. You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios stopped fucking with you.
Why was he a risk?
He chose drugs.
Oh.
But it wasn't just the big names. Social media lit up like a war zone. Twitter flooded with debates over Cat versus Kevin, Shannon's loyalty, and whether the show was uplifting black voices or tearing them down for views. TikTok, full of creators breaking down the drama, adding memes, hot takes, and you won't believe this, reaction videos. Instagram comments, packed with fire emojis, clown emojis, and calls for Shannon to address the mess. And then Mace dropped in, delivering one of the most biting critiques. He called Shannon out for having poise, respect, and compassion when talking to white colleagues like Skip Bayless, but flipping to aggression and toughness when confronting black guests. The line that really hit, why are you so aggressive anytime somebody black says something, but Skip tells you put your glasses on and you fold. It was a gut punch, and one the internet wasn't about to let go. For Shannon, this wasn't just about one viral interview anymore. It was a full-blown credibility crisis, with fans and critics alike questioning, who does Shannon really stand for? Is Club Shay Shay a platform for truth or a tool for takedowns? But just when it looked like things couldn't get more chaotic, Monique entered the chat, and with her, the drama hit nuclear levels. If the Cat Williams episode Crack the Door Open, Monique kicked it wide open and blew the hinges off. She didn't just stir the pot, she dumped the whole kitchen into it. On Club Shay Shay, Monique went all in, calling out Black Hollywood royalty by name: Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Kevin Hart.
Let me say this to you. The day I watched Skip Bayless lose himself with you, and that's what he did. He lost himself. And when I watched Skip Bayless say to you, put them goddamn glasses back on, boy. Now, I know he didn't say goddamn and boy, but that's what everybody heard. And I was waiting for you to snatch his ass across that table, baby, and give it to him. I was like, Shannon, this is the perfect time. I don't condone violence.
Right.
I don't say be violent. But that day, I was in my feelings for 2 days. Me and my grandbaby could not watch you for 2 days. And my husband had to say, Mama, let's talk about this. Look at Shannon Sharpe. He retired in 2004, but he could still get on that field and run touchdowns, tackles, everything.
She dragged them for allegedly blackballing her after she refused to do free promo for the movie Precious, a move she says cost her everything in Hollywood. I did the work I was contracted to do, but when I said no to unpaid press runs, they turned their backs. And then everybody followed. That interview, it wasn't just a headline, it was a cultural earthquake. Suddenly, Shannon wasn't just under fire for hosting controversial guests. He was being accused of running a platform designed to burn bridges in Black Hollywood. Social media split right down the middle. Some fans praised Shannon for giving Monique a space to tell her truth, saying, finally someone's exposing the Hollywood machine. Others slammed him, accusing him of weaponizing pain for clicks and questioning why his show seemed to target black stars at their lowest points. But Monique's comments about Kevin Hart hit especially hard. She said Kevin played the role of a loyal friend in public, but ghosted her when it really mattered. According to her, Kevin made all kinds of promises to stand by her during her industry exile. But when the heat turned up, he didn't even have the guts to cut ties himself. He sent others to do the dirty work, and the betrayal didn't stop there. Monique even claimed she had audio proof of Kevin throwing her under the bus to stay in the good graces of Hollywood power players like Tyler Perry. At this point, it wasn't just a podcast anymore. Club Shay Shay had turned into a public battlefield. And Shannon? He was no longer just a retired athlete turned host. He became the lightning rod at the center of Black Hollywood's civil war. But the biggest twist was still coming, because behind the scenes, a far darker rumor was building, that Shannon wasn't just exposing dirt, he was allegedly holding it for leverage. Just when it seemed like the backlash couldn't get worse, the most explosive allegation hit the streets. Whispers started spreading online, and then on industry blogs. Shannon Sharpe wasn't just airing out celebrity secrets on Club Shay Shay, he was allegedly keeping the juiciest confessions off camera and using them as blackmail. According to insiders and leaked reports, Shannon was said to edit out the most damaging parts of his interviews, the moments when guests let their guard down and revealed too much. But instead of leaving it on the cutting room floor, the rumor is that Shannon kept those clips as leverage. Think about that for a second. You come on the show, you laugh, you tell some spicy stories, but in the background, Shannon's allegedly building a vault of secrets. And here's where the timing gets almost too perfect. The Jane Doe lawsuit, the one threatening to destroy Shannon's public image, was filed just days before he was set to sign a $100 million podcast deal. Coincidence or a calculated move? Enter Dave Chappelle. Dave didn't hold back in his commentary, saying on stage and in private circles that powerful people wanted Club Shay Shay gone. Why? Because Shannon had gotten too bold, too messy, and too dangerous. They don't like it when you play the game and then flip the table. Behind the scenes, Shannon was reportedly becoming a liability in the industry. Guests were getting nervous, publicists were pulling clients, networks were hesitating, because if the blackmail allegations were even halfway true, Shannon wasn't just hosting a podcast, he was running one of the riskiest operations in Hollywood.
My career, it has happened many, many times since, when someone would intimidate me or scare me and take something that I believe was mine. Get between somebody and their paper. Taking a man's livelihood away from him is akin to killing him.
Fans online, they were eating it up, throwing around names, theories, and conspiracies like wildfire. Who did Shannon have dirt on? Is that why celebrities are so desperate to shut him down? Did someone fund Jane Doe to take him out? What started as celebrity gossip had now morphed into a full-blown media war, and Shannon Sharpe was one step away from total collapse. But then came the final blow. Leaked audios and messages that painted an even darker picture. And here's where it all came crashing down. Just as fans were still processing the blackmail rumors, the internet was hit with leaked text messages and audio recordings, and they were brutal. First came the texts, allegedly from Jane Doe to Shannon. At first glance, some looked wild and explicit, with Jane appearing to flirt and make outrageous requests. Shannon's team rushed to the media, waving these around as proof that everything between them was consensual and playful. But then, Jane Doe's lawyer, Tony Busby, fired back. And what he revealed flipped the narrative. Busby dropped his own set of texts and an audio recording, and this time it was Shannon who came off looking dangerous. In the audio, Shannon can allegedly be heard making disturbing threats, saying, "If you say that word one more time, I'm gonna choke the out of you when I see you." Jane Doe responds nervously, "Oh, I don't want to be choked." And Shannon snaps back, "Yes, you do. And I don't think you have a choice in the matter." That clip hit social media like a tidal wave. The headlines exploded, the memes, the reaction videos, the shocked TikToks, they poured in nonstop. But it didn't stop there. Busby also claimed that Shannon had offered $10 million to keep Jane Doe quiet, pointing out that Shannon's team can't claim the lawsuit is meritless while secretly trying to settle behind the scenes. Suddenly, Shannon's public image, once that of the charming, sharp-tongued athlete, was spiraling into something darker, more manipulative, more predatory. The cultural commentary got even sharper. Why do powerful men think they're untouchable? This is the dark side of celebrity podcast nobody talks about. The media machine made Shannon a star. Now it's tearing him apart. Fans, once fiercely loyal, began to split. Some said Jane Doe was just another gold digger chasing a payday. Others said the audio clips were chilling proof that Shannon's public persona was just a mask. Suddenly, the conversation wasn't about podcast or celebrity drama. It was about power, consent, and how far people will go to protect their image. By now, Shannon's $100 million deal was hanging by a thread. Networks were reportedly freezing talks, sponsors were backing away, and Shannon's once loyal audience was asking, did we ever really know who he was? And as all this unfolded, Dave Chappelle's warning kept ringing louder. They're not trying to take his money, they're trying to take his voice. But the question that's got everyone divided is this. Is Shannon the victim of a calculated takedown or the architect of his own downfall? At this point, we're left staring at one of the messiest, most chaotic implosions in recent celebrity memory. Is Shannon Sharpe a victim? Someone who flew too close to the sun and got burned by powerful enemies? Or is he the architect of his own collapse, undone by ego, manipulation, and secrets he thought he could control? One thing's for sure, the line between truth and betrayal in Hollywood has never looked thinner, and the fallout from this scandal, it's still unfolding. Every headline, every leaked clip, every public statement pulling us deeper into the storm. So, here's the question for you. Was this a fair reckoning or an orchestrated takedown? Is Shannon Sharpe being held accountable or being silenced? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear everything. And trust me, the next part of this story is even wilder because what Dave Chappelle is rumored to reveal next, it could blow this entire case wide open. So make sure you're subscribed because you don't want to miss what's coming next.